Kidnapping is unfortunately something that's very common in modern day, and it's going to be the center of our ethics case study today. Elizabeth Smart was 14 when she was abducted in 2002. She was eventually found and was very prominent in the media, so her family went on to write a book about the whole situation. Today, Elizabeth is a child safety activist and is still well known in the media. Shasta Groney was kidnapped from her home when she was 8. Her parents were murdered and she was taken along with her brother. She was the only one to survive through the sexual assault and torture she endured at the hands of Joseph Edward Duncan. She's very popular in the media as her story has reached millions. In 2018, she was arrested for endangering her 1-year-old and 1-month-old child by leaving methamphetamines in close proximity for them to potentially ingest. She was scolded by the media for her choices. So, the question proposed is, should children who suffer through kidnapping and sex crimes be involved in the media? Both of these children were shoved into the media almost the second that they were rescued from their captors. They did interviews and their faces were on every news channel for weeks. Every update there was about the kids, it was on the news. There was even an interview with Elizabeth where she'd gotten upset because of how prying the interviewer was being. Elizabeth is now a successful woman who has shared her story and made others aware of the horrors that can happen. Putting her in the media may have hurt her a little at the time, but now her story has brought awareness around the world. The same thing happened with Shasta, except instead of going on to write books and share her story, she now has the media watching her every move. When she was arrested, she was blasted online and everyone was connecting her actions to what she'd suffered through as a kid. People were saying she didn't deserve to keep her kids and she was a terrible mom. For the rest of her life, everyone in the media will watch her every little move. Does she really deserve this life? In situations like these, I believe it's up to the parents to work with the kids to protect them. They're being returned to their families after being held hostage with a stranger. They haven't felt loved or safe since their departure. Now they're home and know that they can relax and try to heal from their trauma. Should parents make their kids do interviews and put their image out there, or should they be shielding and protecting them? When a child goes missing, posters are made. Posts are put out in the media. Before being found, both of the girls were already known in the media, but should they be forced to speak to interviews and share their story right after returning? I personally believe that upon returning to their family, the family should do everything they can to keep the kids out of the media. They can inform people that the children are okay and then move on. The children shouldn't have to recap the traumatic events that they went through immediately after being saved. Let's say the kids range from ages 13 to 17. They're old enough to decide which route they want to take. Maybe they want to share their story and it'll help them heal. Maybe they want people to be aware of the crimes that can be committed in the area. They want to get their story out there and they want people to know their name and what they suffered through and be an advocate for other people who may go through the same thing. Or maybe they want to stay out of view. They don't want to constantly have cameras and microphones in their face. The adults should protect the children. After being home and having time to adjust, the teen can decide if they want to speak out. And if they've wanted to speak out the whole time and the parent wouldn't let them, that should still be what happens. The parent should still protect the child and make sure that they are not being shoved into the media and shoved into this invasive world that will pry into every little detail about your story. They should be protecting them from that and hiding them. During such a fragile time when these kids' hearts are broken, their bodies are hurt, and their minds are constantly being reminded of what happened, they shouldn't be expected to please the media. They need to focus on themselves and coming back from such a traumatic event. The media will want to know everything that happened. They will want to make stories and they will want to tell people about these events because it's something that really happened and it's something that can continue to happen. And these people did bad things and now they're going to get arrested, or maybe they died, or this and that. There is some reason that a story needs to be out there. And I'm not saying that it shouldn't be, because it's the jobs of people in the media to go and report on these things and make these stories. But if a child just comes back from having this happen to them, I do not think that they should be forced to tell their side of the story. If they're younger than 13, then I absolutely feel like the parents should hide the kids no matter what. They may not realize the effect speaking to the media can have on them in the long run. So the parents should take responsibility and make sure that they're protecting their kids. So, what do you think? Should victims of kidnapping and sex crimes be allowed to share their stories in the media?